Hello, today we are going to talk about dividing polynomials, and this is going to bring you back to about 4th grade because what we are doing is long division. When you learned long division in about 4th grade, you were learning how to divide polynomials. It's just that they didn't have letters at that point, but the skill is going to be the same. So to begin with, we're going to review what long division looks like. So let's say that we have 387, oops, that's an eraser, let's see, 387, and we're going to divide that by 12. So we'll put some steps over here so we can recall what the process is for long division. And the first thing you ask yourself is how many times will my divisor, that's the 12, go into my 387. So how many times? That's what I ask myself. And you don't look at the whole number, the 387. We're just going to think about it as like the 38 part of it for now. So 12 will go into 38 about 3 times. So I'm going to put a 3 up here. Then what we do is we take that 3 and we multiply it by the 12. So 3 times 12 is 36. So our second step is to multiply and write it down. Then what do we do next? What do we do with that 38 and that 36? We subtract them. So we're going to subtract this. So step 3 is subtract. So 38 minus 36, that's 2. And then we bring down the 7. So step 4 is bring down. And I'll put and repeat. So, oh, that says repeat. That's kind of bad writing. Okay, so then I'm going to ask myself again, how many times will 12 go into 27? Well, that will go twice. So I'll put a 2 up top here, and then I'm going to multiply. 2 times 12 is 24, so I write down my 24. Now I'm on step 3. I'll subtract. 27 minus 24 is 3. And I'm out of numbers to bring down, so that means I'm done. So 2 things that we can do with this 3 that we have. When you were first learning long division, you put that you had a remainder of 3. Remember writing that, an R and then a 3? But we don't usually do that. We think of it as a fraction. That 3 would still need divided by the 12. So 3/12 is how you could write that, which in this case will reduce. So I could call this 32 1/4. Is what I would get when I would divide 387 by 12. So we're going to see that same process and follow these same steps when we're dividing polynomials. So let's see what that will look like. So let's divide, for our example, 3x squared plus 8x plus 7. And we are going to divide that by an x plus 2. Okay, so we're going to follow those same steps. So the first thing we want to look at is how many times can we divide this. So for the divisor, I'm just going to look at the x for now. And for the dividend, that's the part under the divide sign, I'm going to look at the 3x squared. So what could I put up top right here? That I could take that times the x that's out front and to get 3x squared. Well, I would need a 3 and an x up there. So I'm going to take that 3x and I'm going to multiply it by this binomial out front, just like we did with the 3 and the 12 previously to get the 36. We're doing that same process now. So I'm going to take 3x times x and get 3x squared. and then the 3x times the 2 and get a 6x. So notice I have to take the 3x times that entire binomial that I'm dividing by. So we've written it down. Our next step is to subtract. So I need to subtract these. Well, subtraction is the same as, yes, adding the opposite. So I'm going to change the signs here. I have to subtract both of those things. So the 3x squareds go away. They're gone. I have an 8x plus a negative 6x, so that would be 2x. And now I'm going to bring down that plus 7. So that's coming down. So now I'm going to repeat the process. So I'm looking at the 2x that I need to divide by the x plus 2, but I'm going to focus on just the x out there. So what could I put up top here, right here, where if I take something up top times the x, I would get 2x. Well, that would need to be a plus 2. So I'm going to multiply now. So 2 times x is 2x. 2 times 2 is 4. So when I'm multiplying the 2, the red 2, by the purple x plus 2 that's out front, my divisor, I get 2x plus 4. So let me look at my steps again. So we have done the first 2 steps. We need to subtract now. So subtraction is the same as adding the opposite. So that's going to change both of these signs. The 2x's go away, and a 7, that's a positive 7, plus a negative 4, that would be 3. So I could write this as a remainder of 3, or I could say I have the fraction 3 over x plus 2. Just like before, if we look at our number example, we took this 3 that was right here and wrote it over our divisor to form this fraction, the 3/12. Same idea with the polynomial that we're dividing. We have 3x plus 2 plus the fraction 3 over x plus 2. So that is what polynomial division looks like. Let's try another example because this is a new skill. So we need to practice this a little bit more. So for this example, we are going to take x to the 4th minus 5x squared plus 4. And we're going to be dividing it by x plus 2. Okay, so my trinomial is going to go inside the square or the divide sign. But this trinomial, this has some terms missing in this polynomial because I see an x to the 4th, but I don't see any x cubes. So we're going to put a 0 placeholder in there. So we're going to have x to the 4th. There aren't any x cubes, but I need to have a space for them, so I'm going to put plus 0 x cubes. And then I'm going to put my x squareds. I have negative 5x squareds. Oh, now I have another missing term. See how there aren't any x's? Well, I'm going to put a placeholder here as 0x, and then I'm going to put my plus 4. So if I don't have any of those terms, I still need to reserve space for them in my dividend here. So we're going to divide this by x plus 2. So looking at the x to the 4th and the x, how many times, what could I put up top here that I could multiply the x by and get x to the 4th? Well, I would need an x cubed up there. I'll check it by multiplying. Take your x cubed times x. That would be x to the 4th. I'm going to get rid of that underline there. X to the 4th. The x cubed also needs multiplied by the 2. So 2x cubed is what that would be. Now you can see why I needed that placeholder. I needed a place so I could have my like terms all nice and lined up. So I have that there. So we have multiplied and written it down. Now we need to subtract. So subtraction is the same as adding the opposite. That's the sign. So my x to the 4ths cancel. And if I have 0x cubed plus negative 2x cubes, that makes negative 2x cubes. So I've subtracted. Now I need to bring down my next term. So the minus 5x squared is coming down. So now we're going to repeat the process. So I need something up top here that I could multiply by x to get my 2x cubed. So that means I need a negative 2x squared up there. So now I need to multiply. So we're going to take that negative 2x squared and multiply it by x and get negative 2x cubed. And then also take that green negative 2x squared and multiply it by 2 and get negative 4x squared. So now I need to subtract, and subtraction is the same as adding the opposite. So notice that the signs had to change. I know they were already negative, but to subtract a negative, that's like adding a positive. So you need to watch that step right there. So my 2x cubes are going to cancel each other out. And I have negative 5x squared plus 4x squared, so that would be negative 1x squared. Now I'm going to bring down my plus 0x. So I need to figure out what will go up top here. So if I'm multiplying by x, I need a negative 1x up there. So now we're going to multiply. So that negative 1x times x would be negative 1x squared. Negative 1 times 2, let me think. Negative 1x times 2 is negative 2x. Okay, now we need to subtract. Subtraction is the same as so our x squareds are going to go away. They're gone. If I look at my x's, I have plus 0x and then plus 2x, so that would be 2x. And I need to bring down my plus 4. So one last time, I'm going to ask myself, what can I multiply by up here? We'll use blue this time. Times my x that's out front, my divisor, to get my 2x. So that needs to be a plus 2 up there. When I do the multiplying, I'll see that 2 times x is 2x. Take that 2 times 2 and you get 4. So we've multiplied and written it down. Now what do we need to do? Yeah, we need to subtract. So subtraction is the same as good job. So those 2x's go away, and then I have a positive 4 and a negative 4, which makes 0. So this is actually an interesting problem. I didn't get a remainder. This divided nicely, it divided perfectly. What that means is that x plus 2 that we were dividing by over here, it's a factor of this polynomial. That's good. That will come into play later. So we don't have to write anything with the remainder because there's not one. So our answer is x cubed minus 2x squared minus x plus 2. So that is how you do polynomial long division. So that's everything for today. So remember that Jesus loves you and so do I. So do your math.